Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Today we bring you Tier 4 in STB Racing League. Tonight it is the lowest tier we have in the league, but that does mean that because the drivers can become a bit more clunky, you will be getting much more action from us here tonight than you may have in Tier 1. Today we're going to get straight into it. We're going to jump into Tier 4 and let's hope that it gives us some prime entertainment as the previous tiers have done just a couple of days before. This is, of course, the STB Racing League. I'm your commentator, Pistol. And yes, let's witness what's going to happen here today. Austria, a little bit of fun facts about Austria. It's only got 10 turns, which makes it the shortest track out of any track in F1. It is extremely DRS and ERS dependent because there's so many straight lines on the circuit. Sector 2 of the track is the most technical, with left-handers and a little bit of a right-hander that can catch you on a curb and make crucial things happen. And Sector 1 is the most aerodynamic dependent sectors of them all, and they're all going to experience those sectors right about now. Here we go, going into turn 1. You can take a look at that Moncho here. He's up into P5, P4, and into the right-hander. Chazzy is up into the top spot. IDN, though, is taking up that top spot there in the McLaren, as Hussein Kuzi, the tier leader right now in the standings, is in I think around 9 now. I don't know what's happened to him. He's falling down the order. Alec is in P1, mixing up with IDN as JMO is now pushing up into P3, punching above his weight here in the Ferrari. Now he's up into P2. He must have some good aerodynamic speed because he's got that P2 off with the straight lines. Going into the right-hander here, he looks like he's dropping down the leaderboard just a little bit. He's still behind the Haskar of Alec, who's still comfortably in P2, but IDN here in the lead. He catches the curb a little bit on the left-hand side, which you do not want to do around this track. It can spin you out, and that's a poor second left-hander there. JMO popping up into P2. It looks like Alec has dropped down quite a couple of places. JMO now, 2 right-handers to go. These are the most difficult turns out the whole circuit. Can you keep it between the white lines and make sure your lap is not invalidated? You can, and Miho comes across the line into P2. Well done to Miho in that Williams, coming along across the line into P2 at the very last second, but the man in P1 is McLaren of IDN. Well done to Miho. He punched right up into P2. Very close. Can he get up into the P1 slot off the start? We'll have to see. Or can IDN manage himself correctly and ensure a P1 in the sprint race? Of course, if you do not know what a sprint race is, all it is just a little section of the full race itself which can determine certain points, and then we go into a full-blown race. So it's like almost like a snippet, really. There you go. IDN, they're in the first spot. The Swedish up there. Fantastic for the McLaren. A 4.9 he sets. As we go down the leaderboard, it looks like the league owner, STB Maldi, they're in P8 in the Kick Sauber. Not good. But the top 3, IDN, Miho, and JMO. So here we go then. We have just seen the qualifying session. We have seen what has gone on. And now we shall witness the sprint race. What is going to happen here? Who is going to come into that top spot and take all 8 points at that top spot? We'll see. I mean, me personally, I have won a sprint race before here in Austria in STB. And yeah, it's really just a great time when you are able to actually get yourself that P1. It's incredibly difficult because people are pedal to the metal. They don't care about strategy because it's a small snippet of an actual race. You don't need to box for tyres. You just go bang as quick as you can around the circuit as quickly as possible. And it's difficult. It is tough for people to keep up with that speed, to keep up with that pace, to try and protect themselves from getting jumped. It's interesting though, here in Austria, it's a very high overtake rate and it's a big tyre wear issue. Really. The high overtake rate can also mix in with that tyre wear issue. Of course, tyre wear, the more you go around a circuit, the more your tyres are likely, or the more your tyres will disintegrate, you could say, a bit around the edges. It wears lap after lap, eventually losing you more grip. It makes it much tougher for you to go quicker around the circuit. But these drivers don't need to really worry about, well, they do need to worry about it whenever they're around laps, but in terms of a pit stop, you don't need to worry about it because this is 12 laps instead of the 36 we are going to have later on in the stream. It might, by the way, it might be 2 streams into a whole race weekend. That is just purely because this game is awful. So sometimes it glitches, it bugs out, and then we're going to have to reload everything and then make sure everybody's in the right positions and whatnot. That can happen. It might not, but it has happened for the past 2 races that we have had this week. But here we go then. The sprint race, we are ready, raring to go. Everybody in the Twitch chat, make sure you type into here who you think is going to win. Is it going to be IDN? Is it going to be Miho? Is it going to be JMO? Or is it going to be somebody down here, like maybe even L Glasses, maybe even Tim, maybe Heat, maybe Sinan? Is there going to be a surprise winner for today? JMO with a disqualification as well as Scoppy. That just means that they've parked a bit too further ahead. It does not mean anything. It does not mean anything too fatal. It just means that they're going to have to start a little bit further back in their parking spot. But here we go then. The formation lap is done. We are ready and raring to go here. And it's green light, go, go, go. We go racing here in Austria as we go down into the first turn. The Williams of Miho cannot get ahead of IDN as we go into the first turn. There's a bit of contact here going into that first turn. The Haas and the Alpine there of Scoppy and Chazzy going close to each other. They're actually inside of each other. They are ghosting as we speak. Jemo right behind Miho. Is he going to send it on the Williams? No, he is not. But around the outside, this Alpine's going to look to go of Jamo. It's a big pile-up, really. Miho's a bit slow on the exit, and Jamo is able to pull through with Miho and get himself up into P2. Miho, though, can he still look for an entry? Look for a moment here to go down the inside. Yes, he will. He absolutely sends it. There's big contact between Jamo and Miho, but luckily for Miho or Jamo, they do not lose too much time, and there is nothing too fatal to note about. As we look further down the grid, here's Hussein Kuzi, the man who leads the standings here, the man who, if everything was to stop right now and the championship would stop, he would win. He's going to have to try and build upon his already impressive 14-point lead from the man in P2 in the standings, and that would be Heat, who is all the way down in P11. So can he continue? Can he further push that lead forward, or can Heat gain some time at the end of this? Here we go, and it looks like there's big contact in the back of the grid. Oh, wow! Look at that Williams. He's cut by. Holy shit! That is a big cut there by Pirilo. It's me. Wait up! Oh my God, the Red Bull. Almost smacking the back of him. But here we go then. Here's Moncho. Can he get close over to the Aston Martin? And the Aston Martin glitches back a little bit. And the Aston Martin's going to send it right down the inside. Can the Aston Martin complete the manoeuvre against Moncho onto the exit? Yes, he can. He's got the better grip on the hards. And therefore he will do it. For the grid, you can just take a look here. Alec and Jazzy, the 2 Haas cars, going side by side into that right-hander there. The Haas cars, you don't want to be battling your teammate too often. Of course, in the constructor standings, the team who leads in the constructor standings is McLaren, and IDN, of course, showing that impressive pace of his, clearly demonstrates why they have got that lead so far in the constructor standings. Granted, it is only 6 points to Sauber. Maldi and Moncho, both in the Sauber, both doing decently well, but not as good, of course, as IDN, who is leading the Grand Prix, and JMO is just closely looking behind, as Miho could have a little bit of pressure here by Scoppy. He might get close to Miho here, as we go up the hill, and so is JMO, a bit of wobbling around at the top spots here, as Miho, I think, is going to have to defend around the outside. Yes, he will. Can he get the better grip? Can he get the better exit? Yes, he does. He also does get that DRS, but here comes JMO. He has DRS on the person ahead of him who does not have DRS, meaning he's going to be quicker as he sends it down the inside. IDM with a massive lunge around the outside, though, but the better exit is going to be JMO's as we go onto the exit here, the Ferrari and the McLaren side by side, but no longer, as JMO is able to take the lead of the sprint race. Fantastic from him. I missed the qualifying and sprint. Can I start the back of the grid at the race? I don't know. I don't know if you can join or not. But here's Scoppy. He's gone down here into P6. He's been, I think, hit, I believe. But Trout, I don't know. You're going to have to message STB Maldi. I don't think, unless we start a new lobby, I don't think you can join a car. So what you're going to... Oh, Maldi's left the session. His internet has not been good so far this weekend. So that's unfortunate for him. But, Trout, pretty much, if there's a new lobby that starts because there's an issue in the game, sure. But, if there's no issue, you can't join. So, there you go. JMO now and IDN side by side. Here comes IDN. He absolutely sends it. Oh, JMO, massive lockup! Massive lockup! Holy shit! But here comes Miho. He storms through. And it's 3 wide down the straight here. It's IDN. It's Alec. It's JMO. And here comes Alec. He's going to send it down the inside. There's a 3 for 1 like an M&S deal. I can't believe it. Miho is now into P2. IDN. It's a mumble jumble up in the top 4. And Alec is currently leading the Austrian sprint race. Oh, massive moment! Holy shit! Miho with a massive moment. He's gone straight into the gravel. The Williams has absolutely fluffed it up onto the exit. And unfortunately for him, he's down into P8. But can he recover his drive in the sprint race? A bit of contact there with the Sauber going into the right hand of the Sauber. Oh, there's damage! There's damage! Oh, he's out the fucking Grand Prix! He's out the fucking Grand Prix! Tim, he's absolutely fucked it onto the exit. He's been absolutely bummed on the exit. He's been hit. His right wheel has absolutely come off. Unbelievable. Tim is dead on the circuit, folks. I can't believe it. And oh my word, the Alpine almost messed it up there as well. Joseph's now retired. Is he retired on track? What's happened there? Maybe he's done it in the pit lane. There's no safety car for that though. He was literally on the bloody track, and he hasn't died. He did die. Jeez Louise. Alec though, still in P1. After taking it there on, I think, the 3rd lap of the Grand Prix, and doing very well. Here's J-Man. Looks like that Alpine here of Scoppy is ghosting, and that's because he's not in the lobby at the moment. I think his internet may have messed up there. Unfortunately, he is just watching this right now. He's watching his car rather than actually driving it, which is not good, of course. But here comes IDN. He's coming right at the back of Alec here. What's going to happen? There's a bit of contact between them in mid-turn right now. Here's the DRS. And Heat is now side by side with Miho. And Miho trying to recover his drive. Doing very well in doing so. Going up into P6 after overtaking Heat into that corner. Very well done from Miho. He's up and it's down the inside from STB Maldi. Absolutely sends it. Is a switchback manoeuvre on here for Heat? Yes, it is. He says, thank you very much, Maldi, for looking like a twat. Now down the inside he goes. And Miho, massive contact between the two of them. Massive contact between the two of them. And Heat is able to push past pretty much. That might be reported after the Grand Prix. It might be a penalty for Heat. It is a rough move there on Miho. And it's unfortunate that Miho was succumbed to that pretty much. He's got a bit wide on that turn there. You don't want to do that. But Miho, although he was up at the top spots, he is still doing well in P7. I don't know how Scoppy's AI got a 3-second time penalty there, but he managed it. Fair play. Here comes IDN up for the lead. Here we go into P1. Sending it down the inside of the Haskell going into the hairpin. Easy as pie. Done and dusted. No issues there, but he might have an issue on the exit. Here's Alec, is going to be quicker than him due to that DRS. Here comes Alec. Can he send it down the inside? Going for P1 once more. Is he going to make contact? Is something dramatic going to happen? No, it's a very smooth, clean overtake. But there's massive contact there. Holy shit. He almost went into the wall and killed himself. That's mental. IDM with a massive greedy moment there. Trying to kill Alec, it seemed like. He almost died on the circuit, folks. That is... You don't want to see that. You do not want to see that. Alec with a massive moment. Oh. I think Scoppy is actually racing, but I think his Wi-Fi is really bad, so he is ghosting. For me, he's not ghosting, and maybe it's just like, if on my screen he's ghosting, I don't know. But here comes Alec again, he's not happy about that. He wants to send it down the inside, but he can't just yet. Oh, he can now! IDN makes a big mistake. He lunges way too deep into the corner. He sees a bit of a gap there forming as Chazzy's able to overtake somebody. But J-Man now watching Alec and IDN go side by side into the right hand. There's a bit of contact between the two of them. And the Haskell comes through with a fantastic switchback. He says, thank you very much, IDN. I'll go slow, I'll cut inside, and I'll absolutely bum you. Thank you very much. I'm back into P1. Fantastic from Alec. And he's back into P1 as the Haskell vrooms through the second sector going into the third. Fantastic from him as Amaldi is now overtaking his teammate here. Can he do it? No, he cannot. The Williams and Hussein Kuzi going up ahead. I mean, Miho is battling the standings leader right now, by the way. The standings leader of Hussein Kuzi. Can something happen? He's gone a bit wide here. He might well get a 3-second time penalty for this. Speaking of 3-second time penalties, IDN has a 3-second time penalty with 3 laps left to go here in the sprint race. Not something you want to see. Going a bit too deep into that corner there, IDN once more. I think the grip is just falling away from him here on these hard tyres. He's going to use the DRS though. I mean, JMO pretty much can get P2 if he just stays in P3 due to the penalties. I'm going to put up the penalties right here. 3 seconds. Going into left-hander here, JMO. Sinan Koch and the Aston Martin here going side by side, and it looks like it's going to be a clean overtake there from Sinan Koch. Take a look at Miho here. Behind Hussein Kuzi, Heat. Trying to get past these two, but of course, if he just stays behind these two, because of the penalties up ahead, he will overtake these lot. And not all of them, of course. He'll overtake Heat and Hussein Kuzi, but he will not overtake Scoppy and Chazzy because they're too far away for the penalties to actually make any difference, of course. But there we go. Oh, it's Albert. Something's happened here. Who's that? That is Moncho. Big mistake there on the exit at the final turn. And he's down into P14. That's a bit rough, considering that is right at the end of the sprint race. It's not something you want to see. Here comes IDN. He's knocking on the door. As I think someone's going to get lapped here. I think that's El Glasses going to get lapped here in the sprint race. Which is a bit mental, but you know. Into the left hander goes ID, and he goes a little bit wide. That's not good for him. Miho overtaking Hussein Kuzi, by the way. He does a little bit of a dirty manoeuvre. He did push Hussein Kuzi off. He might report that Hussein Kuzi and get Miho a little bit of a time penalty, which is not good. But STB Maldi is behind Miho, lurking, trying to get himself a manoeuvre. JMO's got to be careful here. If JMO's too slow on these mediums, he might be too far away for this 3 seconds to mean anything from IDN. But it looks like Alec is going to win this sprint race. He's had an absolutely fantastic drive up until now. Well, he goes wide, though. He does go wide. Is that going to be 3-second time penalty? No, it's not. It's not going to be 3-second time penalty. But here comes IDN. Is he going to push the Haskell? Because something you can do in this game, you can push another car off and force them to have a time penalty. Of course, if you do it on purpose, so we know it, you will be penalised as Miho absolutely sent it on STB Maldi. He can't complete the manoeuvre just yet, and Maldi, I don't think, is very happy with that one. But here comes Gökhan Limon! Banging, here we go! Down the inside goes Miho. There's big contact between the two of them, but Miho is able to keep ahead. Now Maldi overtaking Gökhan. Oh my god, look at this defending by Miho. It's very rough. Oh, big moment between the Mercedes and the Sauber. Gökhan Limon with a big moment, but lets Maldi go through. It's good from him that. And oh wow, IDN has got another 3-second time penalty. That's going to be a rough one for him. And there's something's happened here. Holy shit! The Scoppy and the Alpine not doing very well there, as there's a Sauber going slow as well. Is that Moncho? What's happened to him there? Don't know. Here we go. Last lap of the Grand Prix. Sorry, not the Grand Prix. The sprint race, and IDN. He's going to fake going down the inside. He's actually going to find a little bit of a gap in that turn. But Alec can just... I mean, he can even let IDN go ahead of him. It's not going to matter. because IDN has got 6 seconds of time penalties. So maybe go around the outside, goes IDN. Can he go for a manoeuvre here at the last lap of this sprint race? I don't think he can. And Alec will stay ahead. And I believe Alec will win. Here comes the Haas. Ran that last turn. A very good drive from him in the sprint race. And Alec will come around that last turn and take the win in the sprint race. That's a whole 8 points going to Alex for this race weekend. Very well done to the Haas car. He earns himself a very nice 8 points going into the Grand Prix. Oh my god. It's raining. People are leaving the session. Why did people leave in the session? Scotty left. It's gonna probably be another restart then. People are leaving the session. Yeah, we're gonna need a restart. Okay, folks. Yeah, everything crashed. Yeah, game's crashed. We're gonna need to restart, everybody. Like I said, this game is awful. This is what happens. Trout, you can now actually join us because we are restarting. I will let STB Melody know. I'll go into the party and I will let him know. But yes, we are having issues, unfortunately, with the game. I'll go ahead and inform Maldy. As I do that, the stream will be off. We'll be back in a minute for the Grand Prix here in just a moment.